guess who's going off the grid? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. If you're new, today's video is me going off the grid for the week. So because of adulting things, my Wi-Fi is not on. If you hear noise in the background, that's my ice maker. But my Wi-Fi is not on for the week. So I thought it would be a great idea to get into some of these books that I've been procrastinating on. Let's get into what I plan to read this week. Up is The Bright Years by Sarah Demoff. This follows a couple, Ryan and Lillian, and they fall in love, they get married, and then Ryan deals with addiction. I'm not going to tell you what type of addiction, but he deals with addiction, and then Lillian has to go through that, and then it follows throughout the years. I am saying this one is a really short one. I'm taking my time with it, but I also need to hurry up and finish it because it's due back at the library soon. Second book on my Kindle is I Know the Ants by Lang Leave. This follows a girl named May, and back in the day, her and her friends went through something traumatic. They were on news. It was a whole big thing. And now, years later, one of those girls that something traumatic happened to is now trying to come up with a memoir, a podcast, and they're trying to figure out what really happened that day. So, yeah. Then the next one I plan to read is Soft Spots. I got this on NetGalley thanks to Amazon Books. And this follows Robin, this follows Robin, and she moves out of state away from her family, and she finds solace in a friend named Naomi. She's a teacher. I think they're both teachers. And then, like, family stuff come up, and things happen. That's all I know. This cover is what got me. This cover is cute. I would pick this up at the bookstore. And then the last book on my Kindle that I plan to read is Ghost in the Night. It's Ghost in the Night by Tiffany Jackson. This is a middle school thriller. I have read her first one, Blood in the Water, which was really good. And this one follows Harmony, and she goes to Georgia for the summer with her dad. She finds a ghost picture, and she finds a ghost picture of her and her friends, and now they're trying to figure out who is this ghost, what's going on, is this a ghost town? Just a cute little summer thriller that I plan to get into. And that's every book on my Kindle. Now, since I'm off the grid for the week, plus having to go to work, this may be kind of tricky, but I feel like if I ain't got nothing else to do, so all I can do is read. The next two books on my list are physical books, and one is a library book. This one is Cleo Dane Would Rather Be Dead by Mai Nguyen. I have been avoiding this book, but not really avoiding this book. It's just I know I need to take my time with this book. So this book follows Cleo Dane. Her and her best friend had got pregnant at the same time, went through their pregnancy together, even had the same expected date for the baby. When it was time for the birth of the baby, Cleo's best friend went home with the baby, and Cleo did not. So now it follows her grieving and going through the process of that. She ends up finding a job at a funeral home, and it just goes to her figuring out life. I'm at the part where she finds the job at the funeral home, and that's like, I'm not even that far into the book. I'm like 30 pages, maybe. So I need to hurry up and get into this because this is due back at the library, but also Libby has a Kindle copy that I could check out soon. So hopefully that comes soon, and I can just send this back to my library. And then because I just didn't want to overwhelm myself this week, I decided to pick up, finally, after a month of putting this on every monthly hopefuls, I'm going to read God Help the Child by Toni Morrison. I've read this before. Can't tell you what it's about. But I do remember listening to this, and Toni narrates all her books, R.I.P. to a real one. But let's see what this one is about. It says, Spared and Unsparing, God Help the Child, the first novel by Toni Morrison to be set in our current moment, weaves a tale about the way the sufferings of childhood could shape and misshape the life of the adult. At the center, a young woman who calls herself Bride, whose stunning blue-black skin is only one element of her beauty, her boldness and confidence, her success in life, which caused her light-skinned mother to deny her even the simplest forms of love. Oh, yeah. And this book is only like 170 pages, so I'm definitely going to add this to the list. That is all the books that I plan to read this week. Let's see if I can get to it. Thank you in advance for clicking on this video, and let's get to reading. It is currently 1:15, and I just got home for break, and I'm about to make me a frappe coffee situation. And then I'm about to read a little bit of The Bright Years. Libby says it goes back in 3 days. So I need to hurry up and finish it. And this morning, Cleo Dang Would Rather Be Dead also became available on Libby. So I will be able to finish that as well. I don't know what the correlation is in reading a physical and a Kindle, but me and my Kindles go together real bad. And I only can read a book if I read it on the Kindle first. And then I can reread it, what is it called, physically. Anyway, I'm about to make me a frappe. And then we're going to cuddle up and we're going to read for a little bit. For the, I am now 40% into The Bright Years, and this book is hard hitting. It follows Ryan and Lillian Bright. They get together, they marry, they have a child, and then Ryan unfortunately succumbs to addiction. And now now Lillian is trying to navigate all of that while raising her daughter. And it's just, I know people that not have been addicted, but are alcoholics. And that's just something to like witness in person. It's a hard thing. Hard thing to see, hard thing to get through, hard thing to try and maneuver. Because at the end of the day, you can't really change that person unless they want to change. As much as you want to help, as much as you want to intervene, sometimes you can't help. And that's really what Lillian is going through as she raises her daughter. I am glad that she has the support of Ryan's mom. They are really close, which I really enjoy, because you don't see a lot of times mother-in-laws and daughters being close. It's always they butt heads. But I am almost 3 chapters to part 2. And for whatever reason, I'm finding myself getting tired. Who gets tired after drinking a chai latte? What's wrong with me? Anyway, I'm going to trek through because I really want to finish this book. It says I have 2 hours and 49 minutes left. It is currently 7:07 p.m. I am not hungry because I'm drinking a chai latte, so I feel like this affects my diet. Not diet, what is it called? Metabolism? Yeah, maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm not hungry. So I want to try and finish this book. I want to try. 2 hours, 49 minutes. I could be done by 9 something. If I could get through these, that would be nice. My attention span as of lately is horrible. And I blame TikTok, as we all do. But me personally, I miss the days where I can just sit and read a book. I remember the days where I would read a book front to back on my Kindle. Read at least 2 books in a day. I can't do that no more. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why. But I'm glad that this week is considered an off-the-grid week. So I'm not on TikTok, YouTube, all of that. And I'm able to focus on reading when I come home from work. Which is a good thing because I look at screens a little bit too much for work as is. So I'm going to get back to reading. And I'll check in maybe when I get to 50%. I just read a part that was so sad. Like, it just gave me whiplash. Because what do you mean that just happened? What do you mean? I made it to 50% of the book. I'm I'm 2 hours, 11 minutes in. 2 hours, 11 minutes out. And this book, I see why y'all saying this book is sad. Like, already this book was sad, but like, I took a left field. I gotta take a break. Because anybody said that I was going to, well, obviously nobody said that, but I was not expecting that. I can't even say what it was because it's going to be a spoiler. But I wasn't expecting that. And I gotta go look out the window or something. Because I'm already 50% in. And I know that this book is probably going to be about a 4.5. We'll see how the rest of the book goes and how I feel about the ending. So far, I'm loving the discussion of alcoholism, grief, death, renewal, forgiveness, all the things. Good morning. It is Wednesday, July 29th. And I realized I did not update the vlog yesterday. So, quick update. I finished The Bright Years yesterday. I don't know if I got any clips of me reading yesterday, but I did finish The Bright Years yesterday. I gave that 4 stars. That book was so sad. It touched on addiction, grief, loss, forgiveness, so well, among other things. Like, that book was really good. I've seen that book around. Everybody's loving it, and I can see why. So today's book is out between Cleo Dang Would Rather Be Dead, Ghost of the Night, and God Help the Child by Toni Morrison. And then I also realized I had Soft Spots by, I don't remember the author, but I put the cover. So those are my last couple options for the week. I think what I'm going to do, though, is on the walk to work, I'm going to start Ghost of the Night because that comes out next Tuesday. So I need to hurry up, get that on out the way. So I think I'm going to try and binge that in a day, Ghost of the Night. And then I'll come home and read Cleo Dang Would Rather Be Dead. And then somewhere in between, I will read Toni Morrison and Soft Spots. I think I'm doing really good with my reading. This is really challenging, though. 1, to record it because I suck at vlogging, as we know. 2, not having internet really just shows you how much you doom scroll. It shows you how much you sit there on the phone and you let time pass you by and you sit on TikTok all day. Like, an amount of time that I did finishing a book is the same amount of time that I sit on TikTok out of pocket. I don't just come home and sit and read. I've cleaned up and whatnot, but other than that, it's been really refreshing to come home and just read. I miss those days where I could just sit and read and not get distracted. So part of me is like, thank you, past me, for not paying my internet bill. But the other part of me is like, we got a couple more days and then my internet is back on. So yeah, but I also need to get it back on because I have a kid that's going to school soon. So yeah, that's just one of them things. But anyway, I'm getting ready for work right now. It is 7:01, so I need to hurry up and get out of the door. I need to eat. I need to make my, coffee to go. And then we're out the door. So I'll see y'all when I'm walking to work. Hello, it is Thursday, I think. Yes, it is Thursday, July 30th, and we're another day with no Wi-Fi, but we're gonna read today. I just made me some green tea. Well, really, I just put green tea in here. I didn't really actually make it. I got it from the Arizona bottle, and I'm about to read a couple chapters of God Help the Child by Toni Morrison. This follows a girl named Bride and a woman named Sweetness. Sweetness is her mom. Bride came out dark. Bride came out dark, and Sweetness is light skinned or passing. She could be a passing woman. And her first chapter, she's like, it wasn't my fault that she turned out this dark. Like, it wasn't my fault. And my man left me because this baby came out darker than me. Okay. It's called genetics. Anyway, we just bouncing back and forth through all of these perspectives. I'm going to read a couple chapters of that. And then I'm going to finish Ghost in the Night by Tiffany Jackson. This follows a girl named Harmony. She lives with her dad. Her grandmother just passed. And so she follows her dad on his little concert tours that he goes on. And while she's in each city, she goes on ghost tours because she's like super obsessed with the ghosts. Interesting so far. And in the city that they're in, there is a mystery going around. This one guy has passed away. He was murdered, and they're trying to figure out who murdered him and why. And then there's a boy that was with him. I believe his grandson, nephew, something like that. He's missing. So they're trying to figure out what's the tea on that. We have like an hour and some change left in that book because it's really, really short. And I keep doing everything but reading. Like, I keep trying to sit here and get my life together because I'm starting to really think that, and I know this is probably like the biggest thing that everybody's doing on TikTok is diagnosing themselves with ADHD. But I am starting to really think that I have it because my son has it. And the way we both be fighting for our lives every single day, like just a lot of things that I see in him that I see in me. And it's just, maybe I need to go see the people. We about to bust out these bad boys to read. I always go by which book says the less hours. So this is my Kindle Paperwhite. One day I'm going to do a video on my Kindles because I literally love my Kindles and I want to buy another one. I want to buy the Color Soft, honestly. I did have a Kobo, but I gave it back because I didn't like it. So, but I did want to try the colored Kobo. But I just hear mixed reviews about the Kobo. So I think I'm going to just stick with a Color Soft and call it a day. On this Kindle, it says that I have 2 hours and 9 minutes left in the book. And then on my basic, it says I have 1 hour and 54 minutes left in the book. So we'll be reading on my Kindle basic. Because bigger screen, I know it's probably not accurate. Unless I read fast. But whatever. Let's cozy up. Let's put on some ambiance. Oh wait, I can't. I'm gonna read a couple chapters of this first and then finish the night with Ghost of the Night. I don't know if I'm gonna eat because I'm not really hungry. And then I'm about to drink this big old thing of green tea. And this is what I'm talking about where I think I got ADHD because I eat little snacks all day. I don't know. Or it could be girl dinner. But just know I barely eat nowadays and I wait till the last possible minutes to eat. I don't know what's going on. But let's put on a timer for an hour for now. Editing Amber here. I realized as I'm editing that I did not tell y'all what I read and outro and say goodbye. So in this vlog, in this week, I ended up just finishing The Bright Years and Ghost of the Night. I rated The Bright Years 4.5. I don't know if I said that throughout the video. And then Ghost of the Night, I gave 3 stars, which I did enjoy. So this was a really challenging challenge. 1, having no Wi-Fi. 2, focusing on reading. I couldn't do that longer than about 2 hours. And I think I said all throughout the video that I wish that I could just finish a book and read a book and not be distracted. But we will try this again another time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you read any of these books that I've read, let me know in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.